I don't know if I mentioned in the last video, but I'm not a huge Spider-Man reader. I think I did mention it. But man, this story by Joe Kelly, those only 3 issues. But the second issue is extremely good. Support this comic book series by visiting your LCS. My name is Doran. This is SEO Comics. We continue our coverage of Age of Revelation with Radioactive Spider-Man. Number 2. Our story starts off on the Golden Road, where there is a bullet train traveling at 900 kilometers per hour, which, if you guys are American, and most of you guys are, that means they're going at 560 miles per hour. That is a fast train. And there's a guy and a girl riding on it, and they're like, man, it's been 8 years since we've been back here. 8 years. And at first I'm like, I don't know who the hell these 2 people are. I should have known, but I'm not gonna lie, I did not know. And the dude is just really hesitant about headed back to New York. The girl's more optimistic than the guy is. And then we cut to Revelation Day, 10 years ago, where we see Spider-Man do what he can to try to rescue as many people as possible. As we see people that are falling to their deaths. So Spider-Man swings a mother and daughter that he just saved down to the ground. The mother is checking on the daughter. All of a sudden she mutates and just kind of like attacks the daughter, not trying to attack her daughter. She mutant powers just manifests. And then the daughter's mutant power manifests, which pretty much kills the mom instantly. And while this is going on, Peter was talking to MJ on the phone. So while Peter is trying to swing where MJ is at, like people are either turning to mutants or dying from this virus. He smashes to a window and he goes, May, MJ. He yells, where is May Parker? And then he sees something and he just goes, where is MJ? And he goes, MJ, no. And his Aunt May's like, Peter? And Spider-Man's like, it's all right. It's all right, Aunt May. And then he wakes up because it was a dream. But it is a dream that happened. And Cecilia's there to let him know that everything's going to be okay. He was just dreaming. So the dude that he saved in the first issue, I guess we're staying in his, whatever you call it, hideout, I guess you could say. And they're trying to figure out what they're about to do with May. And Sid's like, well, why don't we go say hi while she's awake? Now, I don't know whether this is from the virus or whether it's just old age or it could be both. But May, you can tell she has Alzheimer's or dementia. She has something, but she is not all there whatsoever. And she's talking about cooking a turkey loaf for Peter and MJ. And then Peter just thinks back, you can't make a turkey loaf for MJ because she's dead and you killed her. But instead of telling her that, he just tells her that MJ moved and he's with Cecilia. So they embrace. She wants to get started cooking and Peter convinces her to maybe take a nap before she gets started. And then she's like, you know what? I am kind of tired. Maybe I will take a nap. But then she ends the conversation by telling Peter, never get old. So then Cecilia and Peter get together and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with Aunt May. Right now, their best course of action is to have Cecilia use her force fields amplified if she has an episode. And Peter's like, won't that hurt you? And Cecilia's like, it's okay. I'm tough. And Peter's like, we tried telepathy, we tried restraints, we tried tranquilizers, like nothing works. Sinister's suspension pod worked great for 10 years, but now that it's gone, what we going to do now? And in those 10 years, we still haven't found a cure for the X virus. But then we cut to Spider-Man, who just got finished stealing some supplies from Rand Applied, which was ran by Danny Rand, Iron Fist. Now, the reason why he was stealing from there is because it's one of the only scientific facilities left in the city. And he's being chased down by Revelation's police force, I guess you could say. Now, he's mostly evading these guys and pretty much giving them the blues. But one of them gets a pretty good shot. And another one gets a pretty good shot. And then a dude that has some really big guns that Spider-Man says it looks like you're trying to compensate for something is about to shoot Spider-Man directly in the face and take him down. And Spider-Man's actually thinking to himself, like, maybe that wouldn't be so bad. No more responsibilities. But all of a sudden, this dude's arm just goes flying off as it gets hit with a blast and somebody says jokes. I miss the jokes. As we see, it is Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. That's right. Spin and Ghost Spider. My daughter would be losing her mind because she loves Spider-Man and his amazing friends, which in today's terms is Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. And the people that were on the bullet train in the beginning, yeah, that was them. So the Spider-Man's like, how are you here? Like, is there a cure? And Miles was like, maybe you come out your hole, maybe you'll know the answer to that. And then Spider-Gwen is like, spin, not now. So the Miles is like, no cure. We get a few hours to trick the virus to thinking that we're already mutated. And Spider-Man goes, oh, cool. I've been poisoning myself with radiation so I can get the good bagels. So then Spider-Gwen's like, talk to him. So I guess they had a falling out because these two are not cool. So then Spider-Man's like, I feel sort of like you want to hit me. So come on, I'll give you a freebie. And Miles is like, you'll never get up. But besides that, the Avengers, they need you out west. All the way out west. And Peter's like, Miles. He's like, it's Spin. He's like, all right. You make sure you get the good bagels on your trek home. Remember? And then Spin's like, do you know what we had to do to get here? And Spider-Man's like, I can imagine. My family's here. And then Miles is like, we used to be family. Remember? And then Spider-Man's like, May's awake. So the Miles punches him and goes, is that why you're still here? And then Spider-Man punches him back and goes, Miles, stop. And then Miles punches him again and goes, you said she was dead. My whole family's dead, and you're still trying to save her. So the Miles is like, how many people have to suffer? Because you won't. And then Spider-Man punches him again. And he's like, if she was your mother, what would you do? And then Spider-Gwen comes down and is like, good reunion. Now, can you guys stop, please, acting like children? And can we go get some grub? So then Miles is like, forget him. And Spider-Gwen is like, zip it, tough guy. We need to show him. So she hits her palm and this projection comes out. And he goes, sorry, Gwen, whatever you got is not going to work. And he looks at it and he goes, that can't be real. And she's like, sorry, but it is real. And that's why we need you, Peter. So then we cut back to the hideout where Cecilia is giving Gwen a hug. And she starts talking to Miles in Spanish. And she goes, Miles, you're such a man now. And he goes, you're still with that loser? And she's like, he has his good days. And I feel like that's a pretty cool moment because you almost forget that Cecilia Reyes and Miles Morales know Spanish. So then Cecilia goes to Gwen's like, come help me cook dinner. And Gwen's like, I can't cook. And Cecilia's like, neither can I. But we can start drinking. And it's better than these two standing in awkward silence. So the Miles goes to Peter and he's like, you look terrible. And Peter's like, well, I'm pretty much dying, so makes sense. How's California treating you? And Miles like, man, you're literally killing yourself so you can stay here. It's a fool's errand. And Peter goes, like I said, if it was your mom. And Miles is like, she'd be dead with everyone else. We're not promised a solution to every problem. There's not a key for every lock. If that was the case, then nobody would lose anybody. So the Miles is like, look, Peter, you tried. You're at the end of the road. The truth is that you gotta go. And Peter's like, you don't know what that means, Miles. All of a sudden, we see Aunt May and she goes, you're dead. Gwen Stacy died. And Peter's like, she's not that Gwen. You're just confused. Miles, run away. And then Aunt May is like, I went to the funeral, Peter. I know what I am seeing. Gwen Stacy died at the hands of that terrible Spider-Man. Who are you? And then Cecilia's like, calm her down, Peter. And Miles is like, what do I do? And Peter's like, get out of here. All of a sudden, Aunt May starts transforming. She goes, you died, as he transformed into this crazy looking monster. And Peter's just yells, run. This story needs more than 3 issues. Marvel, hear me. This story needs more than 3 issues. Man, this is good.